All right, everybody. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let those notifications go out. I know I'm a few minutes late, or a few minutes past 2 p.m., but remember that's why we say around, okay, around because my herbal tea caddy, it arrived today. And so, I've been waiting on that. And so I was like, it could have waited. But the herbal teas that I ordered and the tea caddy came, and so naturally I was like, I wanted to get it ready and get it on my counter. So we now have we've got the peppermint, we've got green tea with pomegranate, green tea with mango, and elderberry, and then mint medley, ginger with honey. I mean, it's a variety. When I realized that I don't need caffeine, it just opened up, yeah, a whole bunch of possibilities. And God brought it back to my remembrance that I actually had a vision of that. I sure did. And I was like, of course I did, because there was a season in my life where I kept chamomile. I want to say one of the types of green tea. I don't recall exactly which one with the flavor. It might have been the one with the pomegranate, but there were a couple of herbal teas that I kept on hand pretty regularly there for a while. And I remember thinking that one day, and it's like I knew. And herbal teas are really great for during the detox, like the ginger with honey. Ginger, great for digestion, right? Turmeric and ginger. Remember that cocktail that I shared with y'all? Okay, remember, don't forget. That is, I found out that in cold water, I found out that 1 teaspoon of turmeric and 1 teaspoon of ginger together in just plain cold water, at the perfect balance. Because the first time I made it, I did 2 teaspoons of ginger and boom! I was like, okay, a little too much. So, but 1 teaspoon of each. And I also have figured out how to brew regular green tea, put the honey in the pot, put a little bit of honey in the pot, and then 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, brew that hot green tea, let it all dissolve in there, and then I let it cool down. And you still have to stir it up though when you're getting ready to pour it. Oh man, that gets you going really nice. Oh, and all very beneficial. Turmeric, great for the joint circulation. So I'm giving y'all, God put these natural herbs and things on this planet for healing. And so, yeah, he knew. He knew the enemy was going to pull this crap with radio frequency and screw up our digestive system with it. Yeah, God knew all about that. So I am going to go ahead and check in over here. I see we've got some comments. Hello. Hi. Yeah. Oh, yeah, herbal tea. And then there's also things that you can do on your own. Like, we'll get to that, but let me go ahead and do what we usually do here. Because it's just like that turmeric and ginger combo. If you've got ground ginger and ground turmeric in your spice cabinet, hello, don't go buy no turmeric pills. Oh, all you need is some ice cold water, or even if you want to make that like a hot tea, ginger and turmeric tea, you could use hot water. Once I learned that I can drink that tea cold, oh, that also opened up a bunch of possibility. Absolutely. So, and then let it cool off. And I suggest that during the detoxing, because what are we doing? Exactly. We are detoxing from metals and other toxins associated with that radio frequency, right? I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA's Let's Just Chat show, streaming on the YouTube channel Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center while combating radio frequency for healthier living. Trauma healing and spiritual growth occur with God's wisdom, basic scientific facts, tried and true technique, and more here and at CDHRWDRMD.com. That is also linked down below for quicker access. Some of you might need to copy and paste the link to view what CDHRWDRMD.com offers to help you level up your trauma healing and spiritual growth. And we've got stuff coming all the time. All right. Yeah. Weekly fun fact videos, short Bible study, CHA book club, which again, by the way, is not just for my books, but it's for any book that you've read. All right, and you want to share. It's a book club, right? So we can all share. Okay, iron sharpens iron at Consulting for Heightened Awareness, as God instructs us to do. Not be out there like these narcissists who like to tear other people down. It makes them feel better, right? Yeah, that's what they're doing, right? With all that traumatization and stuff. And they want to kick others while they're down. That's how the enemy works. Yeah, he wants to keep people down there so he can continue to kick them while they're down. All right? God says, nah, see, chosen ones. He sets us apart. And so we don't participate in that. And we don't allow them to do that to us anymore. We've got that power and authority on the inside of us to not allow them. Don't give them no empathy. Don't give them no sympathy. Because that's what they want. Okay? Never forget that. All right, but yeah, God says, I'm getting you ready. And so when the herbal tea arrived and the caddy arrived today, after I got back from my walk, about sitting in front of my door, and I was like, because I was praying on my walk, I was like, I hope that comes today. Because because I will just share it with you all. Because, green tea is well known for its antioxidant property. Well, add pomegranate to that, right? Pomegranate also has property. Plus, pomegranate has per 8-ounce serving of pomegranate juice, you will get 550 milligrams of potassium. Hello. Okay. Increased potassium helps to get rid of the excess salt in the body. It's a big part of it, and it takes time. And also depends on, what our diet was like before we started making these changes. It depends on our circumstances as well. It depends on the level of exposure to RF. It also depends on whether or not, like in my case, we got that Jezebel case study that we are on the physical mend from, and basically just, bruises that are healing and other things. And so we also have other things to keep in mind as well as to how our body is going to respond to certain things. So we got to become more aware of that. And so I am going to check on my green tea with mango real quick because I am doing a cold. See, yes, you can. You can. Yep. Oh, that's nice. So there you go. Yes, you can. A lot of people are under the impression that for brewing tea you need hot water. This is cold water, and it brewed just fine with the tea bag in there. Green tea with mango. Very nice. Very nice. Very soothing. And yes, we are spiritual warriors for Christ. Yes, you can get that mug on the website all day long. So that's the thing. And yes, I am still working on the request for on digital product line too. Okay, I'm trying to come up with the best way to have some things for y'all to print out to put on your mugs and t-shirts and things like that too. So we're working on that. Thank you for your continued patience, because we are also detoxing right along with those of you who have joined us on that journey. It is another journey. Okay, so yeah, and remember something else too, that during the detox. See, this is God getting us ready. You see, that's why he had me go and get some additional herbal supplements and other supplements that, yeah. Yes, it was. I got that off of Amazon. And if y'all want to see it, I'll show you. Because it's really, it holds up to 12 different kinds of tea. And so, yeah, it's like I'm smiling because I was like, gosh, God said, yeah, I had a vision. And so, as you can see, got the different flavors here. Get a little bit closer. And it's really nifty. And it's great for small space living, too. Yep. It's right here on the counter. And it does not take up all that much space. It's very organized. I thought that I was going to keep it in the cabinet, but then I realized when I have some boxes of tea bags still left that won't fit in there yet, I needed that for storage. So I'm like, that's going to go on the counter, and it's right next to the pot where I'm going to, if I make my morning tea. So, and that God said, go ahead and stock up. That way you've got it on hand. You've got a variety for this detox. He told me to go ahead. He said, go ahead and get it. Fulfill that vision. That was a heart's desire of mine years ago. I'm telling y'all, God will grant our heart's desires when they're righteous. Because that's for healthy living right there. Herbal tea. Because it's something we've come to learn. The research on this is out there. It's how I found out. Well, what we used to think were considered bad parasites, we now know are just metal toxins, right? Okay, well, they don't like herbs. Think about that. Yeah, they don't like herbs. They can't grow. They cannot multiply in a healthy environment. Think about that for a moment, right? The toxin and all of that cannot grow in a healthy environment. And if you are getting fresh herbs, like I've got fresh basil that I need to water. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Today is the day to water my basil. But also, because you want to keep those moist, not wet, but you want to keep the fresh basil moist. Usually with most of your herb, the soil, you want to keep it moist. From what I understand. You don't want it soaking wet. But yeah, herbal teas are fantastic for helping to cleanse the body. Chamomile, right? Remember I shared that fun fact in the academy with the chamomile extract? Okay, because when your body, you got to think about something here. God says, I'm getting you ready. I never get tired of hearing him tell me that. Because I'm on my walk and I'm like, okay, I'm not asking you when, because I know how long it's going to take, however long it's got to take. But I'm like, I know you told me something on my way down to close that Jezebel case study. And you were telling me, and you told me long before where my first gig like that was going to be. And he said, yeah, I'm still getting you ready. Because while I'm detoxing, right? Yeah, we can't allow LED light to be cooking the top of our head. And so, right. So, that eventually goes away. Yes. Once we are fully detoxed, you see? And so this is why God said, go ahead and get all that, because you could sip on some herbal tea throughout the day. See, that's the nice thing about it. I brew a full pot, of whatever flavor, that I'm in the mood for, and I'll have it ready for in the morning. But I let it cool down. And so the nice thing about that is, because it's herbal tea, and I don't need caffeine, I don't need honey all the time, which is nice because you get the flavor of what I don't need to put honey in this. I taste the mango just fine. And it really is very soothing. And I will tell you, for the blood type diet, mango is a beneficial. So, for type O, let me look that up for y'all, because I believe that it's beneficial for all blood types. But let's see, because I don't want to steer y'all wrong. This is how God's getting us ready. God's getting you ready for the next level up. Listen, if you're not seeing it yet, just know that that's why. Because He has to get us ready. He's not going to just, you know how He's shaping and molding us into the best version of ourselves. It's a process. It's God's process. You got to let Him do it. My mentor in spirit uses the analogy of a crock pot, a slow cook. Got to let God do it. Okay? And so that's the supplement. Let's see. Fruit. Okay, here we go. Fruit juice. Mango. Oh, mango and mango juice. Wow. For type O, he's saying, okay, it's beneficial for O, neutral for B's, and then it's saying here, it suggests that for type A and type AB to avoid. That's interesting. You would think that mango would be beneficial. You know, you would think that fruits and vegetables would be beneficial across the board, right? You would think. Now, if you are type A or type AB and you eat mango and you don't notice anything negative, well, that's all right. That's all right. This is for those of us who are on the blood type diet and those who are interested in it. But yeah, wow. And see, for pomegranate, for type O, it's neutral. This is real. Oh. Now, for type A, B, and AB, pineapple is highly beneficial, and for type O, it's neutral. But pineapple is great for the natural enzyme bromelain. For anyone who needs that. All of this stuff that I'm giving you all, I've learned over the years. The research is out there, okay? And especially in the Eat Right for Your Type encyclopedia here. Awesome information. Okay, now the only thing that I do not pay attention to is the world labels as far as when labeling out a certain supplement and stuff like that to help prevent this or help prevent that. I'm not getting all caught up in that. I got to remember that this research is based on earthly things. All right, and people who actually don't realize that it's a make-believe world out there. So I'm just looking at it, okay, is it the reason is his father started research on blood type and food and monitored how certain blood type responded to certain food. And so this is years of research. So I have a level of trust in it, because the first time I got on the blood type O diet, I noticed big differences. The brain fog lifted quicker. That brain fog associated with all the traumatization and the confusion with the narcissists and then the lies from the world. Yeah, the brain fog started to lift a lot quicker. And I was like, okay. And so God reminded me, remember, He said, I was getting you ready then. I'm getting you ready now. God said He's getting you ready. Drop that in the comments below. God says, God's getting me ready. There you go. God is getting me ready. Put that in the comments below. All right, because that's what He's got to do. So with detoxing, okay, when detoxing, we are being prepared for what God has in store. He needs His chosen one to be the healthiest they can be, because it's going to get busy. That's what God said. I heard the Lord say, oh, yeah, he said, it's going to get busy. He said, I'm going to need you to keep up. He said, you doing the detox and resting right now. He said, but it's going to get busy. It's not going to get overwhelming. No. He said, but you're going to get busy. Now, mind you, we stay busy working on things for y'all and stuff like that. But he's talking about as far as getting out there. He's getting me ready. God is getting me ready. God is getting you ready. And so we go through this detox so that we can live healthier lives. Now, I want to go ahead and share with you all. Do not, and I repeat, do not let the enemy trick you, because you're going to have fluctuation during the detoxing. It's a natural part of the process, because we know that salt holds water. Okay, we also know that salt is the conduit for the radio frequency to heat the body on the inside. We also know that there might be places where there's air pockets, and if there's an air pocket, then you're going to have that metal toxin sitting next to it inside the mucus, and when it gets hot, it's going to push. So anytime you feel a ping or a pain, make a note. It's not going to be for long. It shouldn't be. Okay? It should not be persistent, if you will. It should not be for a long period of time. Okay? If you've got something that is persistent with that, go. Have that looked at, please. But during the detox, when we notice a slight ping or a pain, not even 5 seconds. And I'm like, okay, so I make note of it mentally. I go, that's got an air pocket. So what? That's right. That's got an air pocket. That tells me that because where that's located tells me that the muscle surrounding that area is tense. So we get that what? We get that zinc oxide cream, and we're going to rub it on there, because that helps to relax the muscle for normal muscle function. It has to. Remember, the baby had to make it age 3. So, So, and I can tell you from experience, it works to relax that muscle surrounding the area so that you ice pack it, and that breaks the air pocket. It gets the air pocket out of the way. Once that air pocket is gone, if it comes back with a ping or a pain, it's going to be very dull. It won't even, and it will start to fade, because the temperature as you're ice packing to shrink that toxin all the way down, right? You'll shrink that toxin to the smallest size that it needs to be so that you can get rid of it. However it is, it comes out. And I will share with you all, if you've got anywhere on your face that has, let's just say, a larger pore size or what have you, don't be alarmed if you wake up and you see some goo, okay? That's part of it. I know, ew, but it's real talk, because that happened to me too. That, like, right here, because years ago, right, I had what I used to think was acne, but no, it's metal. I think about the color of the pus. It's the same color. That's right. It's the same color as when you cough up and I see that metal. It's the same color. Maybe a lighter shade of green, but it's the same color. So I connected it out. Because what? Exactly. Have to cook the head, right? Cook that mucus up here. Right? And that's what causes the delirium, which leads to an inability to focus and think clearly, or even think for yourself. which is the goal of the enemy, right? He doesn't want people to be self-thinkers. There you go. That's right. God is getting you ready. And this is all part of it. Because God had to cleanse our body from the inside out. And so when I learned that the acne regimen that I was using was only prolonging, it had to work. It had to work, but it was only prolonging the toxin from getting out. Because if there's places on the face that have an opening, and if you wake up and you see a little bit of that a couple of times, don't be alarmed. Because right here, like when I wear my glasses, right? And so I didn't notice it first thing in the morning, 2 mornings in a row. But I'll tell you, leading up to that, I started to experience the RF symptom that I used to think was a sinus, you know what? Now I know it's not. It was just excess mucus hanging out, causing a little bit of that pressure. LED lights, right? Okay, so we causing a little bit of that pressure. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then, so the next morning, when I walked, I had a little scab there. And I thought, that's interesting. But underneath it, years ago, right, I had to, I had to pop it. But it left a little opening in the middle. Interesting. But that's how, right, that's how the metals and excess got out. And so for 2 mornings in a row, it was like that. And so that's it. I did not go run into the store, but I know, because I know better now. That if I had done that, it would have just prolonged that RF symptom. Whereas in just a couple of days, boom, gone. Because it was just my body detoxing. Imagine that. So that's what we come to learn. And of course, we got to have that discernment, because there are some things that are real. Absolutely. Like if you're depleted of a specific nutrient, like iron or B12, then yeah, you can be a little anemic. That's real. And there's ways to mitigate that. Yes. Right. Eat a little bit more animal protein. Yeah, a little more animal protein. That's where you get your iron and your B vitamins. And then also a good multivitamin. It can't hurt. But make sure the multivitamin doesn't have a bunch of other ingredients that you can't pronounce. You want to watch out for that. There you go, Chris. Thank you. That it is best to get the spot. Let them dry out so they don't grow into that. Exactly. See, and the acne regimen I was using was preventing that from being able to happen. Right? And tricking me into thinking, oh, hey, this product works really well. Oh, it does. It works as a mask to hide the fact that there's metal toxin on the other side, and that's where it comes from. This right here is also from radio frequency, and I know what that is. Because it's not a coincidence that if I push on that, then I got to spit it out. How? No. In fact, anywhere that I would, like if I had a ping or a pang and I just kind of gently pressed on it, I ended up getting rid of some mucus. That is not a coincidence. Okay? That's not a coincidence. Part of the detox. And that's one of the first things that I started to notice at the beginning. Like, hold up a second. I went, okay. So that, that led me to connecting more dots about this radio frequency and how it relates to these symptoms that we once thought were, it's made up labels out there. Because Colossians 2 verse 19, right? Yeah, where our nourishment is ministered, right, to the joint, the band, whatever, that increases with the increase of God. The closer to God we are, the more he increases. And this is how he does it, by showing us his natural remedies that have been around for, gosh, centuries, ever since he created the earth. So we have to remember that, yeah, look for the natural remedies first. I highly encourage y'all to do that, because something that we learn also in God's reality, how Jesus cleans everything, we got to let him. And God will guide our steps to get the things that we need that are better for us. Because God's like, yeah, resist the devil and he shall flee. So now, it takes time, y'all. God prepares us for this too. So like we're at the grocery store, right? And we are faced with all these temptations, right? All that junk food that we know a lot of the narcissists are crazy about, that junk food. But chosen one, we pretty much, I'm going to tell you, for the majority of my life, I have never been big on things that are overly sweet. And now I know why. After learning about my blood type. Oh, and then also learning that excess sugars and excess salt does what? It contributes to the formation of more mucus, which is what the enemy wants. The more mucus that he can keep up in here, the more that radio frequency will keep them in a slumber and their autonomic nervous system in a slumber. Y'all gonna learn everything about our autonomic nervous system with this ministry, because it's very important to understand how it gets traumatized first, which is what causes that trauma bond to the world. See, God needed to show me that. And I'm grateful because now we know what to do. Okay. So, right, the sunlight, oh, they know that. Well, you can call it, I thought it was a calcium deposit. Right there, I did. I thought it was, but I looked closer since, and I see what's underneath there. And like I said, pressing on it, and then it releases that. I said, no, okay, there's something else. But right, it's from, it did not, that didn't start until the ex-cycle roommate started ramping up. Right? And it's on the right side of my body. Right? He was trying to put things, he was trying to put it there as a plug. But see, right, and it's gonna go away. It's already going away. Okay, also a past area of injury right here. I had what I thought it was a callus. No, I looked closer. I look at the colors. And I said, oh, because when I would press on it there at the beginning, same thing. And I said, okay, that's not a coincidence. And so that was a deliberate attempt. And I know where, because right in my wrist right here, I know there's a dent. There shouldn't be a dent there, because on this side, there's no dent. This is what I'm talking about when God says, I'm getting you ready. Because I'm showing you some stuff. God says, I'm showing you things that were done to you unbeknownst to you. So basically, right, one of the narcissists had to press on that area while I was sleeping to cause the indentation that would let that serve as a plug for proper circulation. Just like our big toes. right? Especially on the right. Because before we knew, and our ANS was in a little bit of a slumber, we used to stub our right toe. I know I did throughout my life. Until we got older and started paying closer attention. Quit doing that. So each time we stubbed our toe, that just remained a place of injury. And so that callus, that there's not a callus. It is a cooked. That's right, it's not a callus. And God started revealing that to me when I got these slippers that massage your feet as you walk. Or sandals, if you will. Because it's helping to loosen some of that. When we start getting the toxins out. It's a big cooked molecule. And underneath it, from stubbing the toe over the years, is a little bruise. And that, my fellow warriors, is exactly what has happened to these narcissists and why they remain crept and unaware. Because the baby soft spot of the head, right? Get a bunch of mucus in there, and then let the LED light cook it until it's one big metal molecule that is a callus. That's what the enemy wants. Oh, God revealed that to me. And I went, oh, that makes sense, because that callus keeps that area of the toe and the foot numbed. Now you understand why we call them mind-numbed robots. Because is their ANM asleep, but their mind is also numbed with a giant callus right where the soft spot is on the head. Because I've witnessed the ex-psycho when he was increasing the radio frequency inside that house. I witnessed him standing there in front of the tree, and he was going like that, which told me that, oh yeah, he was feeling the effects. There was no way he was going to be able to try to electrocute me and be in the same environment and not get a dose himself. So his internal body heat was getting high as well as mine with all of that radio frequency. Oh gosh, I remember those looks when I would go out to the front porch there towards the end before leaving. Because at the time I smoked cigarettes, so I had to go outside. And so I'd be standing there, and he shot me that sideways Jezebel glance, like basically wondering why I wasn't dead yet. Well, I think we know the answer, fellow warriors. His name is Jesus. Glory be to God. Because it is no longer us who walk, but Christ who walks through us. And so when that happens, we can do all through Christ who strengthens us. Yeah. And so it's all part of God getting us ready. But we got to be patient. Be patient, because it's going to happen. Because God is a promise keeper. And we lose that indoctrination of impatience because, well, we got to. And that's a myth too, Chris. Touching your face does not do that. That's what the world. Purge your subconscious of that. I used to think that too. Remember, what a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's why the world lies to us about this stuff. Okay? Yep. think we know that we're not really dealing with worldview label regarding mental health. It's all spiritual, y'all. Every bit of it is spiritual. I know that's going to be a harsh truth some people don't want to hear, but because you know, whoever has accepted the world label because somehow that just makes them feel better. It's all spiritual. But yeah, every bit of it is all spiritual. Well, I can see why we would have thought that that was a sign of frustration, but now we know it's not. If they don't know that, though, they don't realize that it's their body heat is trying to, the excess heat is trying to get out, and so it will have a tingling sensation, because we are going to experience that on and off throughout the detox process ourselves. Oh yeah, and that's what it is. So don't freak out and don't hit yourself up there. Okay? All right, let the body go. Okay. And so what I've learned to do is whenever the body's trying to get rid of the excess heat up here, yeah, don't stand underneath no LED lights now, because that's just going to don't do that. Turn off that light. Let the heat get out. There's more room out than there is in. So let that heat out, okay? But don't stand underneath LED lights. At least, right, while that's happening. Because, exactly, it'll just, right, the heat's trying to come out, but the LED light keeping it in. Because that's what the enemy wants. Remember, when the body's internal heat is higher than it should be, yeah, it alters our perception of things. So don't let the enemy trick you into thinking that the detoxing isn't working, because it is. It's just our body's internal heat. Because I'm going to go ahead and share with y'all. Yeah. It messes with our perception about our own physique. This is why we're big on focus on the internal, and the external will follow. Be aware of the fact that, okay, so you're working out, you're eating better, you know you've lost several pounds, but why doesn't it look like it? Because there's still too much heat on the inside of the body. Remember, the enemy is all about appearances. So if you got metal toxins still located in certain areas, okay, then, and your body's internal heat is too high, and you go and look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, well, I'm doing all of this, and how come I'm not seeing? It's there. The results are there. You just can't see it yet. So God showed me, he said, I want you to look at that photo. He said, I want you to look at that video, because God is showing me I can see the results that way. And I can feel the results on the inside. But because the body heat's still too high, I mean, I'm still fitting in my clothes. But the appearance, giving off the appearance of being larger than it really is. A lot of things. So don't let the enemy trick you into giving up and giving in, because that's how he does it. That's why a lot of these narcissists, yeah, they're not dedicated. They won't stay on a healthy diet and working out for long because of the fluctuation that occur. So they give up and give in because they're like, well, I'm not seeing, because they're walking by sight. See, chosen ones, we got to walk by faith. And this is what walking by faith looks like. Just keep going. Keep eating healthier. Keep getting that. Even when God says up the ante, he ain't kidding. So basically, if he just has us doing a different workout, he's got us doing twice a day now. Okay? Some active stuff. So he'll do that. That's how he upped the ante. And that's part of him getting us ready. You see? So just know that when God ups the ante, so yes, if you are noticing a certain area of your body, okay, if you are noticing a certain area of your body that is remaining a little bit too tense muscle-wise, use that diaper rash ointment. Rub some in there. That'll relax it. Yes, because that is part of the 20% legit. It has to work, and it does. I'm not sharing. This is not a secret. It's out there. And it does. It takes consistent effort. Absolutely. Yeah, consistent effort to get those results. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Body conscious issues. See, chosen one, got to lose that. Got to lose that, because when we got to detox, and we're going to see the fluctuation. So, ladies, let me tell you something. I need you to understand, if you've decided to jump on this detox journey with us, I highly encourage y'all to go ahead and have some sports bras, okay, on hand, of different sizes, because you're going to fluctuate. It's just the way it is. All right? For example, all right, I wake up and we're like, okay, we see where we're at. That's the best time to measure if you're going to do that. Before you even get that cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever beverage, go use the bathroom and then measure. That's the best time to do it. And then write that down. But don't do it every day. Gosh, no. Wow, a narc would do that. And that would cause them to give up and give in, because it's been a couple of weeks now since I've seen any additional from the last time. Because when I measured this morning, and they're the same. So that's good news. Okay? Just know that is good news. Right? And now, why is it in the last couple of weeks nothing has really changed? Well, it's because I've upped the protein and I've upped the ante. So basically what it is that we're focusing more now on getting more oxygen to the muscles. See, the muscle will expand, right? They will swell. And if they are swollen and tense, circulation gets a little altered. And so that's why there hasn't been any in the last couple of weeks major changes in the measurement, but they're still where they were 2 weeks ago, and that's good. But I noticed on the inside, I had to get those extra supplements that God needed me to get. And so now more air pockets are loosening. You see, God says, I'm getting you ready for the next level. And God says it's going to be sudden. Oh, remember, God's suddenly is not like right now. God's suddenly is just hold tight, right? Be still and know that God is God. Because he revealed it to me on my wall that a certain thing is going to occur a lot quicker than I think. Remember, our thoughts are not God's thoughts. So I was like, okay. He said, I need you to just keep going. God says, I'm getting you ready. I just need you to keep going. Because you're going to have those moments. Okay? All right. And so that's why. Yeah. Okay. To illustrate for you all, here's your inspo. When I first started the dietary reset, the sports bra that I had to get, okay, was a 2XL. For a season, I wore that on the wall, and as things started to shrink, I had to have a XL for in here because it was warm outside, and so we would sweat. Yeah, we would swell a little bit. So I had to wear that for a season. And so I had to have that size, and God said, okay, I need you to get large, and I need you to get mediums, and have them, because it's going to happen. It will fluctuate. And so he's going to have us, right, he's going to have us do, right. And then there was a season where I would walk out there, walking with the 1XL, and then just wearing the L in here. So it goes like that. Right, that's just to give you all, especially, for the ladies, so that you don't get tricked into giving up and giving in. Just go with the flow, okay? But you're going to want to have at least one of wherever you're at now, and then a lesser, based on whatever your goal is. I know what my goal is. So I have, I have everything on hand, ready. Remember, God says, I got to get you ready. That's how he gets us ready. By having the different size bras on hand. Because, right, it's going to do that. Even though the last couple of weeks it's been like this, but God revealed yesterday, he said, I know. He said, that medium fits. But it's still a little, we're in between. And they don't make size 35. So, don't be discouraged, ladies. I'm being open and honest with y'all, okay? We're not being perverted or anything like that. This is just share with you real world stuff that happens when you detox and you're losing weight and you're getting rid of the toxin and you're toning, okay? So let's be mature adults here. But because it's going to happen, all right? So you may notice that too. You get an odd number measurement. That just tells you that you're in between. Okay? That you're just kind of in between those two. The two sizes, even though the smaller one fit, but it's still a little too tight, but you're in between. So again, you gotta go with the flow. Okay, you'll know. Because if you put that size on and you wear it for a length of time and you start to feel something, hold on a second, you start to feel some areas of your body going a little bit numb, that's your sign. Okay, hold up a second. We're not quite ready for that yet. You're in between. So that's for whoever needs it. And for you men out there, if you are putting on shorts, pants, shirts, what have you, that are constricting and you start to feel something, okay, that means you're not ready for that size yet. That's all. You're in between. It happens, okay? It's a normal part of the process. And so I'm just giving you all those tips. Yeah, we got to remember that. Got to unlearn the worldly garbage. That everything that we're dealing with, it is a spiritual battle for the mind. So, yeah. And it is. It's like, the enemy would like to, because that internal body, it alters your perception. So you're looking in the mirror and you're like, okay, I've been doing all this working out and all of this, and I can feel the results on the inside. And I will share with you all this. Do yourself a favor. Don't have no body conscious issues, because there ain't nothing wrong with you. If you look in the mirror and you're not right, because we don't walk by sight, but it appears as though there's no result. I want you to step back from that, because what is that? That's a mirror, right? So what God told me to do, he said, get away from that. All right? This is for everybody on the detox. And you've lost some weight. We are 15 plus now. That's gone. We know this. We can feel it on the inside. But we can also feel it in the physical, because I can put my hand right here. Huge difference. Okay, huge difference from when we first started. So I want y'all to do that. Okay, don't stare at yourself in the mirror and get tricked into becoming discouraged. Step back from that and go, hold on a second. Yep. Focus on the core and then go, oh, okay, because you made progress. You know you have, because you can feel it on the inside. Focus on the internal, the external will follow. Because when your body's internal heat gets back to normal, then you'll be able to see what you're feeling here. You'll be able to see it then. But while the body heat is still a little too high, because the enemy wants you to give up and give in. Like, he wants you to think, why am I even doing this? God says, I'm getting you ready. That's why. Yeah, that's why a lot of the narcissists, oh, I've heard them. Yeah, we have. I'm not the only one. We've heard them when they talk about how they want to lose weight, but they never seem to. It's like either you want to or you don't. They talk about it all the time, but you don't see them actually, right? Well, now some of them will. Yeah, when they're trying to line up new supply, that's when you'll see them. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you'll see them. And then not only that, y'all, narcissists go to the gym to socialize. They don't go to the gym to actually work out. Oh, they'll work out, but they go there to socialize. I picked up on that years ago, but I didn't know they were narcissists at the time. And so, yeah, constant effort to get those results. Absolutely. Oh, I know. It doesn't help that when the narcs making us feel like crap with the way we look or our appearances. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? They don't do that anymore. When we get into God's reality, we overcome that. Because chosen one, let me remind y'all, ain't nothing wrong with you. You are made in God's perfect image. You are beautiful the way you are. Don't listen to the narcissist. Okay, yeah, they're only projecting their own feeling of inadequacy when they do that. They're just telling us, oh, they don't like their own appearance. Yeah, thank you. That's the best way to put it. This is why, okay, I gotcha. Okay, Chris. All right, let me give y'all this tip. Okay, when you're detoxing and losing weight, I understand that if you've got work uniform, yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to do this, but in general, this is why I highly recommend, okay, all y'all, if you're going to be on the detoxing and weight loss thing, get you comfies. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. Get you some comfies. Okay? Similar to this. Okay, get you some pants included. Okay? But you want to make sure that the elastic is not too tight. Okay, remember, you don't want to restrict because of the simple fact that radio frequency interferes with our body's proper circulation. So you don't want to get anything that's too tight. But you see, kind of like sweat shorts, if you will, exercise shorts or what have you, but that is expandable, okay? And I went ahead and I got, it's still a small. See, that's the thing I'm trying to tell y'all. Is that if you are wearing a size small, okay, your body's just giving off the appearance of being larger than it really is, and it's just a little bit bloated. That's why, because of the heat on the inside of the body. Because ever since I got here, all right, before, as I was bouncing back and forth and I started to notice a little bit of swelling, I went ahead and I bought some things like this because I said, okay, I see what's going on. So pants included, like if you can find pants that don't have to, you know what I'm saying? They have, oh gosh, I know they do. They have like casual pants that are elastic around the waistband, but comfortable. You know your body. But that's my tip, is to have these around, because yeah, that'll save you a lot of money. Because if you get the size, see, this would be considered, this is a woman small, okay, and it's still a little too big. However, it's serving its purpose. So that's what I want to share with you all. Is find yourself something so that you're not right now. For ladies with the bra, that's just, it is what it is. But eventually, you won't have to be doing that anymore. But as far as the pants, I know it can be a nuisance when you are, because you are exactly that fluctuation. So that's my tip on that, is if you can get away with like not the pants that button and zip up, but the right stretchy material. Okay, make sure it's stretchy material, because you are going to fluctuate. And so when I first got here, all the clothes that I came with, regardless of the bloating and swelling that occurred from the radio frequency, and then of course let's not forget the incident there, right? And then also from my poor dietary choices, hold myself accountable. Even with all of that, my clothes that I've been wearing for years still fit. So I was like, okay, right? And when I went to have something looked at, of course, they took my weight. In 1 year, I only actually gained 8 pounds. That's not that much. However, right, once I got in here, and I wasn't changing my diet yet, but I was still walking and everything. But I got relaxed. I got settled in. But my clothes were still fitting. My tops and everything were still fitting. So I didn't really, notice until God revealed to me that I got to quit eating that way, and that I need to detox. So there you go. So it's just little things like that. But I like how you put that, Chris. It's very true. Is that to make practical, to have practical consideration of weight loss due to detox and exercise. So that way you're not having to buy pants every time you lose a pound. So if you get something that is expandable, okay, seriously. All right, that's my recommendation right there. I mean, I'm telling you. Okay. Right. Yep, talk is cheap. If you want to change, you got to do something about it. That's right. Yes. Right, expand and contract with the weight change. Yep, okay. You're welcome. Shorts and pants tip while you are detoxing and weight loss, if you can get away with it. Make it like elastic, but comfortable. Again, you'll know, your body will tell you. Because yes, that's what we've got on. A pair of those suckers right now. Because of the fluctuation. Exactly. Because internal heat also swells. Yeah, that's another practical consideration. That's why I said when you first get up, if it's time to measure, okay, and I highly encourage y'all not to do it more than every 2 weeks. At least give yourself a couple of weeks. Measure, wait a couple of weeks, and measure again. And if, like for me, you don't see a change, your measurements are still the same as 2 weeks ago, okay, that's good, that's progress. That means your body's starting to stabilize a little bit also. Okay? So you're going to go through those stages. And that's what you want, is you want those seasons where your body stabilizes for a little bit. Because it's undergoing a lot of detox, okay? That's why I highly recommend chamomile tea or the chamomile extract, because your body's undergoing a lot of stress detoxing, believe it or not. And the way I learned about that in my forensic toxicology program, the master's degree right there, okay, is that when your body, when your body is undergoing that kind of stress, it's known as oxidative stress. Because remember something, the enemy targets the circulation, right? He's targeting our oxygen. So the oxygen not necessarily getting to some of the places that it needs to yet. In the muscles, okay? Remember, your stomach is a muscle, right? Yep. You know where your muscles are. And remember that even your brain is a muscle. So, exactly, because the enemy wants to keep oxygen away from as much as he can inside the body. And so that's going to result in oxidative stress. And that leads to tension, which brings me back to how God is getting us ready. So if you've got some maximum strength diaper rash ointment, okay, got some of that, and you have a couple of areas where you're like, man, that feels really tense, rub a little of that on there, okay? Nothing wrong with that, because it works. Because what's happening is if that getting tensed, then it's interfering with your proper circulation. Because you need proper circulation for nutrients to get where they need to get. And so if I don't at least do something, I mean, yes, okay, you can, stretch it out. Deep breathing exercises are great also. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's highly beneficial. And so when you're working out, you want to make sure you are intentional with getting oxygen to the muscle. You'll hear a lot of exercise coaches and trainers tell you that for a reason. Because when your body is undergoing oxidative stress, it's going to be tense. And so that's why you find that lavender and then pair that with chamomile. Very soothing and relaxing. Because even though we psychologically, spiritually, and emotionally are relaxed, physically, we're not while we're going through the detox, unless we're sleeping. And so it's like right now, I can feel the zinc oxide. I'm playing tug of war back there with my autonomic nervous system. Yeah, playing tug of war because it's trying to restore proper muscle function. And that's what you want. You want proper muscle function because that promotes proper circulation. Yeah, the enemy knows that. All right. Right, yes. Yes. Where the head feels like it's swelling, that is an RF symptom. And it's also from, it feels like it's swelling, but it's not. It is from the radiation. Because that internal body heat is so high. I experienced it in the beginning as well. But it wasn't a migraine. Okay? Those who experience what the world called migraines or headaches, whatever, all that is, it's an RF symptom. That's right. And the enemy knows that if he can get you to dwell on that, it's just going to, right, remember, what we focus on the most is what we attract more of. So what happens there is, the best tip I have, if you do experience any of that, is to remind yourself it is an RF symptom, okay? And there is a herbal supplement called Feverview. Let me show you. Well, I'm gonna find it here. Here it is. It's one of the herbal supplements he had me keep on hand. Not that I'll necessarily need it, but it can. Let's see. I'm trying to think what. Right, it's FEVERFEW. Okay, it's a natural herbal supplement, and I'll share with you what it is said to help with. Supplement. Here we go, because it's in here. And the reason I got it because I found it and I was like, oh, okay, to make sure that I am allowed to have that. Okay, yep. Okay, Feverview. Okay, it's recommended for all blood groups. Okay, and it is a metabolic enhancement. Okay, it enhances your metabolism. Okay, metabolic enhancement. Right, that's what he had me get it for. And then also, it is the primary action. It's a substitute for migraine remedy. So if you do experience that, I would highly suggest going that route first, the all natural route. But for me, it's the metabolic side, because as far as my entire life, I rarely, if ever, would get any aches up there. And so that's the same now. Even with all of this detoxing and stuff, I might experience a little bit of pressure because of the mucus buildup, but I know what it is now. So when we become aware, right? Yeah, and if we tell ourselves that we have something, that's why I highly recommend you take note of what you're experiencing, but don't tell yourself that you got a headache. Go get your Feverview. All right, take it with a snack. It does say preferably with a meal, but take it with a snack. All right, and just don't even think any more about it. It will go away. That's my suggestion on that one, because yes, it can feel that way. I know it feels like your head is swimming. Yeah, because all the mucus build up. Yes, there you go. You got it. Yep, oxidation stress around the muscles and internal organs, and brain and nerves to breathe. And the skin is the largest organ of the body that needs to breathe. Very spot on. That's why I suggested the stretchable shorts and pants for the season of detoxing. Now, you may start with a size medium and then go to a size small, which you should. Whatever your goals are. All right, whatever your goals are. But I have to say, Chris, that for the waistline of 32 for you, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. I don't know what your goal is, but that's fantastic. Yes. Right. When it feels like your head is swimming. Already been there. Absolutely. And so I also recommend, I know there's a huge push right now as far as a collagen supplement. There's a huge push out there in the world. God put it on my spirit a while back to get some, but not because the world's pushing it, but because it's time to take the put the collagen powder in because of the physical side of things for me, as far as because that got depleted as well during the incident. So we got to do something, right? See, God guides our steps. He knows when we're going to need what we're going to need. Okay, so we just let God do what God's got to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay, y'all, we got to wrap this up. But all of this we discussed today is all part of God getting you ready. God getting us ready for whatever it is He's got coming. All right, everybody. So there you go. You got your tips. You're welcome. Because the last thing we want to do, all right? Oh, I know. Oh, it would be great. It would be great if we could get some sponsorship from Vitamin Shop, because this ministry going to drive business to them, and GNC. But I get my multivitamin from GNC, and then some other things every now and again also. But right, it would be awesome to obtain that, wouldn't it? Because I really am. I mean, I'm up here like I'm not being paid to promote them, y'all. Yet. I had to throw the yet in there. Because something's bound to happen. Be up here helping out other brands. All right. How about y'all help this brand out a little bit? Yeah, I know God says, I'm getting you ready. He says, I'm getting you ready. So there you go, everybody. Your tips and things like that in this one. And if you have any question about the detoxing, don't hesitate to reach out. Or like the about if something is a radio frequency symptom. Yeah, don't hesitate to reach out, because when you realize that most everything we experience is due to the radio frequency poisoning, things start to make a lot more sense. And then we realize, oh, okay. And we're exposed to it. You can't escape it. But there are things that we can do to combat it for healthier living. I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA's Let's Just Chat show, streaming on the YouTube channel Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center while combating radio frequency for healthier living. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.